Morning Dish.
He's the hardest working man in show business. His band's music takes you into the midnight hours. And when you wake up, his voice is back on your radio alarm clock. How on earth did this happen?
Well, Jeff saw me taking out the trash at the radio station.
And he won another award.
But this one is better.
I'm your boogeyman. That's what I am.
It's the Morning Dish with the 2019 Radio Personality of the Year winner, Stephen Phillips.
You paying attention to this, Packy?
And Murphy's own Sherry Raines.
Yeah, you must have given horseback passes to the right guy, Stephen.
Well, giddy up.
And Packy Smith's Shetland pony is right alongside.
You guys know these demo tapes don't just edit themselves together, right?
Well, all right.
3 cheers for Stephen Phillips.
Y'all need to help Stephen Phillips out over there. Out the door and off the radio.
Here's Stephen Phillips.
All righty, folks, we're back with you. And I think one of the best in the businesses, all the way from Asheville, North Carolina. Played the Grand Ole Opry, recorded with Vance Powell, Kim Carnes, Jenny Gill, Vince Gill, Patty Lovelace, and the list goes on. Matt King, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
How are you, man?
Oh, I just had a big bout of sunshine with a side of no clouds, so I'm just happy to be here.
I guarantee it, man. You got a lot of stuff going on, and I've been a fan of yours for a long time, and just glad that you took time out to come on the show and let everybody else hear a little bit about you. Tell us, now, you're actually from Asheville, North Carolina.
Well, I'm actually from Hendersonville, North Carolina, and then I lived in Fletcher before I moved to Nashville many years ago.
Right.
But somebody on Wikipedia one time said I tried to correct them on that, and they said, no, but how do we know you're really Matt King? We got this from an official release. And I said, oh, okay, all right, well, I guess I'm from Asheville. And I caught a load from home. Everybody said, you're from Hendersonville, you're a liar.
Well, I feel better now that you're from Hendersonville, because I was a little bit concerned. You know how them folks are in Asheville up there. But
I've heard that about them. Yeah, I was just over. Actually, I went home this weekend, and I went down in Washington, Georgia, to hunt with my dad.
Right.
So we drove down that way and went turkey hunting. And man, I just get homesick every time I go back.
I can believe it, man. And there's a lot of good hunting down there. But now in your career, I mean, you've been with a lot of different people, but let's go ahead and talk about some of the stuff you've got going on today. You do a lot of stuff, and especially on your website, you stay a lot of stuff up on that. You got some new songs or anything that you've been working on?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I had kind of taken some time for the last, 5, 8 years. I've been doing a lot more producing and writing than touring. And during, one of my heroes is Wylie Hubbard. And and my better half is Heidi Newfield. I don't know if you guys remember Heidi. She had a song called Johnny and June. And she sang Trick Pony.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we got together and with our buddy Jack Williams and wrote a song. We were writing for a film and TV show, and I ended up doing a duet or a trio with Ray and Heidi on it called Midnight Oil and Holy Water. Yep. And we just put the trailer up yesterday, and it's going to come out next month. So I've got that as a single, so I'm kind of sticking my toes back in the water as an artist,
right?
And slowly starting to book shows again. It's real slow, but getting the calendar filled up, thankfully.
Yeah, well, with the COVID, man, everybody shut down. We've talked to a lot of people. Been saying, I actually had Wylie Hubbard on not long ago, and he's kind of getting back out. And I'm a big Hubbard fan, too.
Oh, man, yeah.
Yeah, but now this is, he's unreal. And he actually speaks highly of you. I've seen some stuff.
You sound surprised by that.
Well, it's pretty good. When you got somebody that you look up to and they say, hey, this guy's okay, that's pretty cool, you ask me.
Especially when they run around with gypsies and gamblers and thieves, and they give you a compliment. So I take that as high praise.
Yep. So anyway, but yeah, I'm glad to hear it. Now, you said you're involved in a movie?
Well, I spent almost, over a decade. I wrote for a publishing company based out of L.A., and I wrote some stuff. I would write for film and TV, things you probably wouldn't even know, or a hillbilly horror zombie film I scored with Trace Atkins in it years ago.
I know that one.
But so this one was an upcoming show that hasn't been released, and we got a lead on it. And so we were writing. I had this title. I thought, well, if I come out with another record, I want to call it Midnight Oil and Holy Water.
Right.
And so I had just held that title for years, and when we were writing with the idea of this upcoming show in mind, and then it just turned out so cool. I said, "Hey, Ray, would you sing on this thing and let's kind of release it and see what happens?" And sure enough, he said, "Yeah." And Heidi, she I guess I got in her graces, and she said, "Sure, we'll do it. Let's do this."
Yeah.
So it'll be out actually next month. We're going to see what happens with it.
Right. I guess I fell in love with you back, not with you, with your music.
Hey, okay.
Well, I love you too, but
I love you too.
Eden's Apple, man, I love that tune. And then Hell's Kitchen, man, I mean, you hear that all the time. That plays constantly.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what. That was a funny story how that came to be. I absolutely love country music, and my family, we're truly mountain people. I'm
Right.
the first one that left the mountains. My family was the Hatfields. My great grandmother, my great aunts ran liquor stills in Dark Corner, South Carolina.
Right.
And you can't really write about that in mainstream country, but I love traditional.
Right.
I did those 2 records for Atlantic. That didn't happen, and I was just heartbroken over it.
Mm-hmm.
So I went up to this 24-hour coffee shop in Nashville one night, and I just listened to Buddy Miller's Cruel Moon, and I went, man, that's something I can get my head around.
Right.
And so I sat there. I'd gotten the big DIVORCAE, and I sat there and wrote Eden's Apple one evening, and I don't even remember what happened. I just kind of wrote it out in about 15 minutes. And from there, this thing started coming together. It actually became this record called Rube, and Hell's Kitchen was kind of a factual fiction song about meth labs, or if the townsfolk could actually take the law into their own hands and take care of the meth labs themselves.
Well, I think we're about there, man. We're getting closer and closer, I think, where you're going to have to take the law in your own hand. But, when it comes to meth, this is I'm not about meth at all, but I mean, it's really a cool song. I mean, you can actually see the people, you just have to listen to the song. Go listen to it. I can tell you what it is, but you can see
if you like to do meth, you got to do it like normal people do meth,
Yeah.
Wait, normal people don't do meth.
I'll try to stay away from all that. I got enough bad habits the way it is. So anyway.
Oh my gosh! When I met Heidi, I sent her. We'd agreed. Okay, we know of each other. We know we do music. So let's just not do that. But when I sent her that record, she said, "Matt, I have to ask you a question. Are you a junkie?" And I said, "Oh no, Lord, no. This is like just pretend like I wrote a Southern fiction novel."
There you go.
And this was about some of the stuff I saw in the woods.
Well, I'd seen some stuff somewhere with you hanging out with Paul Overstreet.
Well, that's as a result of her, actually. Yeah, this summer Paul had called, and I'm kind of a gearhead, and he wanted some help setting up some live stream stuff. And he and Heidi went way back,
right?
And of course, I was a huge fan. I was a big Randy Travis fan, and he wrote so many of Randy's big hits.
Oh man, he's
and we went over to his place back. He's got a beautiful place out in the woods, and yeah, we got to hang out and play a couple of things with him. I think the world of Paul.
Yeah, he seemed like and he is unreal, like you. I mean, he's got some great songs out there. So what's your next up and coming album? I mean, you're working on that now, or have you got it ready to go?
Yeah, well, it's such a weird time. I grew up on vinyl, I grew up with records, and all my heroes have continued to put out records. But what I'm trying to do right now is sort of, I'm going to slip a song out there, trying to get some promotion behind it, see if we can't partner up with maybe even a label,
right? And
just see what kind of feedback I get, and then I'm going to release like 2 or 3 back to back like that, a song at a time. Mm-hmm. I have there's a big festival in Oregon on the coast. It's an RV festival. How cool is that?
Oh, that's the way to go.
That's what that's going to be like, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm doing that this fall, and so in an ideal world, I'll release this thing, go back down to Texas, because I've got a lot of fans down there, and I really want to get back to the mountains and the Carolinas and Georgia and play. But ideally, would be like a 3 or 4 piece band.
Yeah.
And do some of the festivals and theaters. So that's the game plan. Is over the next 4 months to keep putting a song out every month and promote it as best I can.
Right.
As an independent artist, and see what happens. I noticed you had talked to Paul Thorne many times, and
oh yeah,
Paul,
he's cool.
He's great. I used to go out with guys like that, and that's actually how Rube came to be. I was opening for Paul, and the producer that I ended up making that record with was there to see Paul that night.
Right.
and said, "Hey, give me a call. I like what you're doing." So But anyhow, yeah, that's what's going on. Just the cliff notes of it.
Well, I mean, I wish you all the best. That's the thing, just like Paul right now, he's doing acoustic because, they can't afford to hire a full band because of the COVID. A lot of stuff, kind of shut down right now. So, I mean, that might be the direction you have to go with that. But I'll help you any way I can.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, I'll help you.
What's that?
I said I'll help you any way I can. I'll try to get you down here.
You may kill his career, Stephen.
Well, I might do that
just
too.
Saying.
Well, you can't kill something that's already been raised from the dead 3 times.
There you go. You keep coming back, baby. That's what we like. So tell these folks if they want to hear some of your stuff, how they get up with you, and if they want to buy some of your merch and all that good stuff. Y'all gonna love this guy. I'm not kidding you. I mean, I'm trying to introduce y'all.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to send y'all. The reason I ask you for your address, go to mattking.com. It's not just a fancy name. Very easy. Right. And all my stuff is there. I've got the socials and everything, but if you go to mattking.com, there's links to whatever you want to hear. And the coolest thing is I wanted to make some merch this year, and I almost quit the business 20 years ago to start a coffee roasting business.
Yeah.
And I've got a batch of coffee called Pop Skull Pitch that I've got being roasted. I started making coffee with a heat gun and a stainless steel pot, heat roasting it. And I found a roaster in Coffee County, Tennessee. And I have got some fine coffee beans that you can get over there. And since you guys get up to crack of dawn, I'll send it to you. But it's real easy, mattking.com, period.
I'm going to tell you, for merch, this is the best thing you can possibly. This is better than T-shirts, man. Are you kidding? Matt King Coffee. I mean, I'm behind that.
I wouldn't wear my face on a T-shirt. I've got a face made for.
A radio. Go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it.
I got a face made for radio. But you people like coffee.
There you go.
Well, so does Stephen, coincidentally.
I love it.
I'm going to send you some of this rocket fuel, and I think you'll love it.
Oh, good.
But, I'll be happy to send it to you guys just as soon as we hang up. I'm sending a batch out today.
That'll work. Well, man, I sure appreciate you calling in, like I said, and I'm looking forward to it. Y'all go to mattking.com. Easy enough to find. Hendersonville, North Carolina. He's kind of a local around here, especially
My
for you
son
folks
lives up there.
And,
oh, really?
Yeah. And but go check him out and support him because you got some great stuff, honestly. And
thank you, and I appreciate you reaching out. It means the world to me. Yep. I'd love to stop by anytime you guys will have me.
All right, man, we'll get you back, guarantee it. So we're going to jump to a break, and I appreciate you.
Thanks, Matt.
All right.
Sounds good. See you guys. Have a good one.
Thank you for listening. This is Stephen Phillips, host of The Morning Dish. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel because we have a lot more interviews out there to listen to. Plus, you can listen online every morning at WJULradio.com or Lake 97.7 WJUL. And give us a like on our Facebook page, The Morning Dish.